Youssef wants to know, how important is failure? You hear a bunch of people saying how important it is to fail, but is it really?
Youssef, great question. Look, I think failure has to be quantified. If you fail that you never can get up from it again, that's not a good failure. I think failure and adversity are the two things I think about. For me, as an entrepreneur and very entrepreneurial and always in my own stuff, all the failures along the way, even going back to like the baseball card show when I was 13 that I paid $400 for a table and nobody showed up to that baseball card show. That was a learning lesson. Mm-hmm. Those micro failures were super, super important. I think, it depends on your stomach, right? Like if you really fail, like go out of business, I think people take one of two ways, right? They're like just finished and they're never able to get off the mat and they go in a different direction. So to me, I think quantifying the failure is important to me. Jack, Suzy?
Well, I'll give you one. I blew up a factory the second year I was in business. Sky high. My boss all of a sudden didn't know me. I went down to see his boss in New York, which he pointed me to, and the guy asked me 1,000 questions using the Socratic method. And instead of me getting fired, which I thought was a high probability, I learned something from it. So in every one of these events, you got to get yourself back on the horse. And how well you get back on the horse and how well you ride after getting knocked on your butt is a very big deal.
We tell our kids fail early and often. Fail, because then what happens is when you do fail, you realize it doesn't kill you. You go on living and you realize, okay, I can pick myself up. Here's how I'm going to reinvent myself. Here's how I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to own it. I'm going to say, look, I got fired from the Harvard Business Review. I tell people I was fired from the Harvard Business Review. And here's the thing. It gives you heart for people who have also fallen down.
Sure.
And you actually sort of have a totally different understanding of people who have fallen down. You've been there and it just makes you a better person. You don't want to keep failing constantly, but to be scared of it.
That's a very bad idea.
No, you don't want to fail all the time, but you can't be too scared of it because it stops you from doing big things.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just having a meeting with a lot of senior executives here at VaynerMedia, and I said, look, guys, I don't need peacetime generals, right? I need wartime generals, meaning I need executives, like, of course I know this brand's going well, and this brand's going well, and this brand's going well. What are you doing about the client that's not happy right now, right? And I think failure makes people better at that, and so that's another kind of thing that I look for in this subject matter. All right, let's move on.